Control and Prevention significantly revised its numbers of COVID-19 variants on Tuesday, estimating the Omicron strain accounted for about 58.6% of U.S. cases. The CDC previous estimate was 73.2% nationwide. That's a discrepancy of over 22%, and a massive fall of the CDC's earlier numbers of 95%. The CDC blamed the disease for their inaccurate numbers. We are USA Radio News.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barata. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA, 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity, and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros, trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you're interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Municipal Golf Course, 3130 East Silver Springs Boulevard, any Wednesday at 6:30 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check ocalabusinessleaders.com.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
I'm sorry. Welcome back to Ocala Talks. I'm sorry. I'm laughing. I'm still kind of having a Good chuckle. Galen Udall joins us from Life South. Galen, please tell me you heard that you were paying attention during the news update when we went to break there. Please tell me you were.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest lines of the last few years.
So the CDC was talking about, the news story said the CDC was redoing its numbers. They originally thought that Omicron would be 95% of the COVID cases. Then it was 83%. Now it's down to 56%. They keep changing their calculations, and then they ended the story by saying the CDC says the reason they have to keep changing their calculations is because of the virus.
It's quite incredible. And again, the CDC, I've been critical of for years. But
they
CDC,
literally said our erroneous numbers, we blame our erroneous numbers on the virus.
Yeah, and again, but this has been the case from the beginning, right? Do you remember the inflated deaths? And then they're like,
oh, remember we were supposed to have 2 million. We were supposed to have 2 million dead.
Right. You know, and it's, and then I heard somebody said, well, the reason that many people didn't die is because of the lockdown. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, well, where would you even get that idea?
And there's been over 800,000.
No impact.
There's been over 800,000 dead from COVID or COVID-related issues. What are COVID-related issues? I want to know how many people died from COVID-related issues.
I can tell you, because of the way they funded it, if you had COVID and you were coded by the hospital as a COVID death, they were fully covered. That patient was fully covered by the federal government. So
whether they had insurance or not, the federal government paid the bill.
That's correct. And so there's great evidence. I've seen it, not just anecdotally, where a mother showed me the death certificate of her child who was in a motorcycle accident, wasn't wearing a helmet, fell off his motorcycle, cracked his skull, died.
They tested him for COVID.
At the scene,
right.
At the scene, they tested him for COVID. He tested positive. And on his death certificate, it says cause of death, COVID.
And this is not, like you said, this is their proof of this all throughout the country. This isn't just,
Agreed.
Supposition. This has actually happened a lot.
Agreed.
Happened a bunch.
Oh, and I'll tell you, there are some people that you can listen to on this, and they've been proven right from the very beginning. And then there are people that are talking, and they're lying. Remember? I mean, Fauci's like, you got a mask. Cloth masks work. No, they
double the cloth mask. Double the cloth
right.
mask.
And then he said, well, natural immunity isn't as effective as vaccines. That's wrong. People with natural immunity to the original COVID virus have been clear unless they got back. And when I was talking, I'm at the prairie.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
You're breaking up, but I will tell you this. What he's saying is there's evidence that people with great immune systems would be able to beat this virus without the vaccination. I can even give you somebody who the doctor said that was proof of. Me. The doctor said the reason my legs swelled up and I had an adverse reaction to the shot is because it kicked my great immune system into hyper overdrive, and it was attacking my arthritic areas because it didn't have anything else to attack. My immune system was doing that, which caused me to have swollen joints, which blocked off circulation to my legs, all because of the COVID vaccine, where it kicked my immune system that was already great into hyper overdrive. I asked the doctor, would I have needed the shot knowing if you'd have known my immune system was this good? Probably not, was the reply. That's me. That's not somebody else. That happened to me.
Yeah, natural immunity is the best. I mean, and by the way, the best way to do it, and it's also the longest acting, and we studied this at the blood center with convalescent plasma. We would test people, and if they had the virus, or we tested them for the antibodies, they were, in some cases, 10 times higher than they were for people who had gotten even the second vaccination. But you couldn't report this, right, because the CDC, doesn't allow you to release data related to COVID
HIPAA.
And again,
HIPAA.
the people behind all this is the World Health Organization, because they don't want to offend China. And by the way, neither do we. We're scared to death of China.
They do own 41. They do own 41% of our debt.
I would not be surprised. And I heard this in a podcast. I too like podcasts. And the guy said, "Don't be shocked if in year 3, when Biden realizes there's no chance for him to win re-election, that he comes out and suggests that we start speaking and introducing Chinese more effectively in our school system." And that's not, people are like, "Oh, that's crazy." No, it's not. Right? No, it's not. Don't be shocked if they start introducing speaking Chinese in the elementary school level.
Well, I already speak Chinese. Mongolian beef, happy family. I speak Chinese.
First of all, you got to go with General Tao's. However the heck you say it. Cao,
General
Tao,
Tso's, General Tao. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. Sometimes it's TSA. Sometimes it's TSO. That's my go-to, and I also like the broccoli and beef. Can't go wrong with beef and broccoli.
Beef and broccoli. Can't go wrong with beef and broccoli.
Okay.
The happy family,
Now
though,
I
is the
want
way.
Chinese.
Happy family's the way to go, though. Let's be honest.
I still got prime rib left over at the house. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I got lamb at the house. I looked at it last night. There was lamb when I got home from trivia.
How does that do leftovers?
Oh, it's good.
How does
It's
that
good.
do?
It's fantastic.
All right.
It's fantastic.
Worried about that.
Fantastic. And
Leftovers are important. I think we need to make a bigger deal out of leftovers during this inflation. I'm pro leftover if it's done right. Any pasta's better.
Oh, well, pasta's always better the second day. You never eat pasta or sauce the first day. You cook it, and then you let it sit in the refrigerator. Then when you warm it back up on the stove, not in the microwave, you put the pot back on the stove and warm it up that way. It's so much better.
Last time you had at a Chinese restaurant?
When was the last time I ate it sitting down in a Chinese restaurant?
Yeah.
I think the Yummy House probably 4 years ago.
Man, it's probably been 15 years.
But they're not like they used to be. Remember, you used to go to the Chinese restaurant, and it was like the Chinese restaurant that you see in A Christmas Story. You went, you had the lanterns hanging down from the ceiling, and my grandma, we used to go with my grandma, and this is how bad she was, because my grandma was a terrible influence on children. Now, she was a mean woman who nobody really liked. She would embarrass you at the drop of a hat, to the point of where I would bring girls in college, I'd bring them over to, when we were coming home, we'd go to visit my grandma. She lived in South Florida. We'd go down there. She'd say, "Boy, you got underwear on in them sweatpants." She would, in front of my girlfriend, just try to embarrass me all the time. She was a mean woman, but at the Chinese restaurant, she was great. Because remember, at the Chinese restaurant, you would get those toothpicks, the long ones that had like the tassels on the end of them. That had like
absolutely.
And she would say, "What's this?" And she would put them in a straw and aim it up at the false ceiling. And when we would leave, there'd be 20, 25 toothpicks shot up into the ceiling above our table that my grandma would show us how to do.
Classic.
Oh, and we'd always take I always called them the graduation tassel, the tassel that hangs on your hat at graduation. You move from one side to the other. Those were always on those lantern lights in a Chinese restaurant. My grandma would always say, "Oh, no, those are they put those on with those little hooks because you can take them off. It's for you to take home. They replace them." And as little kids, we'd be stacking chairs up, stealing those tassels. We drove the people at that Chinese restaurant in Margate crazy. I'm sure we did.
Wow, class.
My grandma, she'd go to the Chinese restaurant. And we went to the Chinese restaurant. We'd go visit her at Christmas because she was like, "I'm too old to cook. If you wanted me to cook, you should have got me in my 40s. That was her response. So we literally would be a Christmas story when we go visit Grandma at Christmas. We'd go to a Chinese restaurant. It's fantastic.
Love it.
But you don't have Chinese restaurants
I had no idea
like
the story was. I had no idea where that story was going to end up there. But I was just thinking about that.
You don't have Chinese restaurants like that anymore.
Well,
now you just go in, you make your order, you sit, you wait, they put it in a brown paper bag, you walk out and take it home.
Well, no, most of the time you just have it delivered. But I'm always I love their tea. Their hot tea is always better.
And it was the only place in a Chinese restaurant. I always thought it was great because they would bring your own little pitcher of hot water and everything, and it made you as a 10-year-old. You were like, I'm so cool because I get my own hot water pitcher.
Oh yeah, and that's probably why I love tea to this day. But there was one on Pine. I don't remember the name of it. That was our Chinese. And by the way, to this day, everybody's got their Chinese place.
Yeah, my dad's favorite one was Hulong Chinese, and it was down on Laura Street in downtown Jacksonville. You had to go into downtown Jacksonville, and it was very formal. You had to. At the time, we always wore our Sunday best clothes to go to it and everything.
Sure. Yeah, but they I guess all Chinese restaurants now are just pure takeout. I don't.
Except for Yummy House.
Except
for Yummy House.
Yeah, but I still just order takeout from Yummy House.
but it is a sit down. It's a traditional sit down Chinese restaurant, but not in the vein of a Christmas Story. They used to have, it used to be. I don't know. It used to be fun when I was a kid to go to a Chinese restaurant.
It's more like a Hong Kong, the more commercialized side.
And my little sister refused to eat Chinese food, so she would always get fried eggs because they always had the eggs because of the fried rice and everything.
The fried rice.
She'd just get fried eggs. She'd get scrambled eggs. That's what my sister would eat at a Chinese
restaurant. She didn't like rice?
She didn't want anything but scrambled eggs. That was it. That was all.
Oh, that's brutal.
Well, she was like 7. She was like 6, 7 years old.
Yeah, I get it.
You remember that stage when kids between like 3 and 8, they don't eat anything but chicken fingers and macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Hot dog. Yeah, hot dogs, chicken fingers, and macaroni and cheese. That's it. Well, she ate scrambled eggs. That's what she did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the Chinese restaurant, I forgot how good an experience a Chinese restaurant was as a kid.
Yeah, man. Well, apparently you in there and had Target.
Oh, well, my grandma was just, she would like, go ahead, steal the tassels. They replace them.
That's unbelievable. That is crazy.
But when we'd go in, there'd be, when you went to grandma's for Christmas, like your family and like two other sets of your extended family would show up. So grandma would take like 30 of us in a Chinese restaurant. They weren't going to piss this woman off and tell her stop doing that. Right. She was spending too much money. I mean, this was in the late 70s, and the tab would be $250.
Gee.
So we could steal all we wanted, and that Chinese restaurant wouldn't have cared.
Well, they weren't breaking even if you were stealing all the tassels.
Those tassels. What did those tassels cost? I mean, they were being made by some 9-year-old chain-smoking alcoholic over in Taiwan or something.
Yeah, well, it felt like you had Amazon. It took 7 weeks to get here.
Speaking of 7 weeks to get here, I saw this story earlier today, and I thought, well, that's just reinventing the wheel. That's going back to move forward. There is a shipping company in Paris, France, that is going to roll out a test of a 550-foot freighter that, yes, it will still have its motor and everything. It will still be powered by its motor and everything, but it will cut its emissions by up to 40%, they theorize, by being pulled along with the winds from a giant kite that will be extended from the front of the freighter and will pull this 550-foot freighter, meaning that they have to use their motor less, so they will lessen their emissions. And they think that if this works, all shipping could be done this way by 2040. I mean, didn't Columbus show us that sails take 3 months to get across the ocean?
Well, I saw this article, and they refused to answer a basic question, Tom. And the basic question is did you see how small it is in comparison to like what they call the super freighters today?
Yeah, it's a 550-foot ship. It's itty bitty.
Which carry it's something like 5,000 times the amount of cargo. So
how big a kite you gonna need for those ships?
More. You're gonna need You're gonna need 5,000 more ships. So the economical impact is going to be massive.
But
right?
we've
Because
already
the building
we've
of
already
the ship
shown
puts more emissions than the ship itself.
But we've already shown we know better ways than sails to get across the ocean.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I was like, okay, maybe they're going to do, because I think the title of the headline was like, New Ways for Ocean Transit. I'm like, okay, maybe
Right.
they're going to figure out solar power.
Yeah,
Right?
so something.
Or something. You know, a nuclear reactor like they use in the United States Navy.
We've
where
already
they
shown
refill it.
we've already shown we can do better than wind.
Come on. I mean, come on. I mean, you know, and the problem is this is what happens if you don't know your history. Again, I'm amazed at the sheer stupidity of some people. And again, let's just say, if you believe, whether I believe in environmental or global warming or not doesn't matter, right? If it happens, it happens. Let's say the whole world increases in temperature by the maximum proposed amount. The maximum proposed amount over 50 years is 3 degrees.
Right. So instead of it being 77 as a normal way, it'd be 80.
And who in the world's going to be unhappy with that?
You know, and here's the thing. We know the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria took 3.5 months to get from Spain to the West Indies. How long is
Yeah,
this?
they didn't make it go America.
No. And these were little wooden ships that were only 120 foot long, and they had massive sails on them. We're talking about a 550-foot freighter, which by freighter standards is very small, being pulled by a parasail. That's what this thing looks like. It looks like a parasail is off the front of the boat.
And the chance of this working is
zero.
You know, and by the way, they're going to try it without any cargo.
Right. They're going to do it in an empty ship. Okay. Okay. Well, but how? If you're going to have an empty ship, what are you doing? You're only going to use it when the ship's empty? Oh wait, it's never empty because you take it full, you fill it back up, and take it back the other direction.
Unbelievable.
When I saw that, I go, oh look, 2022 is going to be like 1822.
Unbelievable.
Oh no! Wait.
Again,
at least in 1822, the steam motor was starting to get a stronghold in boating and shipping.
Well, sure. Well, I mean, yeah, we had ironclads at the time. So you know, you look at I don't think Elon Musk is investing in this.
No, I did not see any kind of investment news that said Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos was either one investing in this.
Yeah. Silly.
I did hear that Charlie Gardner, the bum down on Pine that begs for money, he's put his life savings into it.
There you go. That's right. I mean, there's a real future for it.
He's cashing in big, is what I understand. No more cardboard sign begging for food. He's found the answer.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
When I saw that story, I go, huh? I have to, and by the way, I had to read it because, like you said, it said new technology for shipping. I was like, oh, good. Maybe they're going to find some. And then it was a parasail. I'm like, are you kidding me? And they didn't even refer to it as parasail. They referred to it as a large kite.
Yeah.
I'm like Benjamin Franklin would look at you and say, you're a moron. The man that knows more about kites than anybody, you're a moron.
Yeah, it's true. Unbelievable.
It's
unbelievable.
When I saw the story, I said, well, I bet that'll make Galen laugh. But then I was one up. I couldn't help. No way it could be helped. The CDC made you laugh before I did. Because
that was funny. I'm sorry. That's
the inflated numbers, the erroneously inflated numbers that the CDC has been talking about this entire pandemic, the CDC blames on the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Well, COVID can't argue with the CDC.
That's correct.
That's
absolutely correct.
They don't have anybody to argue the other side because COVID's not arguing.
Well, I'm just amazed, absolutely amazed at the sheer reaction to it all. That's the part that gets me. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Omicron, especially this Omicron variant. I don't understand the Omicron variant because the death rate is almost zero. It's just a very bad cold now is what it looks like. And yet the country's treating it like it's January of 2020, and we're just learning that there's a virus called COVID out there.
Well, at some point we have to move on. We just have to decide, hey, we're not going to do this. We're not going to play your little reindeer games. So
and
yeah.
you know what? And am I overseeing this, or are organized sports taking this Omicron thing and just destroying sporting events because of it?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, they're doing everything they can to.
Basketball
right?
games are canceled. Football bowl games are canceled.
Well,
I mean, it's just
the
left
Kingdom
and
of the
right.
Sun is going on, right? The Kingdom of the Sun is here.
Well, we're in
So,
Florida. We're in Florida. No bowl
that's
games in
absolutely
Florida.
right.
No bowl games in Florida got canceled.
Well, there's a couple, but yeah.
But like the University of Miami,
did.
the University of Miami decides not to go to their bowl game. And by the way, they decided not to go to their bowl game 2 days before their bowl game, so they got all their practices in, which once again illustrates exactly what you and I said. The only importance of bowl season for these schools that don't play in the national championship tournament is the extra practice. It's not really the bowl game anymore.
You're dead on. You're absolutely right.
We're not going to our bowl game, but we got our practices in.
Sure.
It is not illustrated any better than right now with we're not going, but we got our practices. University of Miami was the latest to pull out. And then another bowl game got canceled, so Central Michigan, who didn't have any COVID issues, went and took Miami's place instead of playing in the bowl they were supposed to play in because their bowl got canceled. I'm so confused now. I have no idea. I got nothing. Speaking of bowl games, we will start tomorrow. Galen and I will start discussing how we see Friday playing out. Friday, the early game, Alabama and the University of Cincinnati. It's still hard to say, Galen. Alabama and the University of Cincinnati. Without thinking that I'm going to march.
They deserve to be there.
Without thinking
Let's
that I know
move
they
on.
do. I know they deserve to be there, but it just seems like it should be a March Madness setup. I know Cincinnati deserves to be there. So Alabama, Cincinnati's the early game, and then the game that I've seen the national media after the embarrassing loss Georgia took. I've seen the national media turn and start thinking that Jim Harbaugh and Michigan are the next coming of the four horsemen or something because they're playing Georgia. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but it sets up for a very interesting playoff. And I know everybody in the country except SEC fans are hoping Alabama, Georgia, or one of the other both lose. Both of them or one of them lose, so you don't have the national championship game, Alabama, Georgia.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. But guess what we're going to have?
Alabama, Georgia.
I think Michigan wins. But we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. Hey,
Yeah,
Kingdom of the Sun.
absolutely.
What time's Kingdom of the Sun get kicked off today?
Oh, it starts at 10. Bunch of games today. Really talented kids out there. North Marion beat Vanguard last night. Again,
North Marion's pretty good,
Vanguard North Marion's really good. They got a young sophomore, Sammy, who's special. He had an off night, and they still beat Vanguard by 10. Tim Yarn coached his butt off last night, and coaching wins. I'm a big believer in coaching winning, and it showed last night. But there's the four teams left. If you're a fan of basketball, you're going to be hearing some of the names. IMG Blue is advancing. A team from McDonough, Georgia. Those guys just fly. They've got 5 guys who can just jump out of the gym. 3 of them are going to Power 5 schools. 2 of them are going in the SEC.
Kingdom.
Last night,
Kingdom of the Sun.
Number 1 player in the country was in there.
Kingdom of the Sun.
Amazing.
Kingdom of the Sun at Vanguard. Go get your tickets. Go watch some great basketball.
Yeah.
Galen,
Vanguard plays at 4.
Got about 15 seconds. Where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, Bloodmobile today, we're actually at the Walmart in the Villages, so come see us. We are the sole blood provider for every UF health facility in the state of Florida. So come see us, get the Life Donate blood.
Galen, talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
85-year-old John Madden, probably the biggest name ever in the National Football League, unexpectedly died Tuesday morning in Pleasanton, California. That's in the East Bay area.
Anyway, here's how you slice it. See, a lot of people don't know. You have to slice it down the middle. See, and then you slice it across this way. Because what it is, it's a deboned chicken stuffed in a deboned duck, stuffed in a deboned turkey, with dressing between the chicken and the duck and the turkey.
Sportscaster Jim Gray on Fox News Wednesday morning.